Now, I did mention that I have finally gotten around to a couple of PS4 exclusives that I had yet to play. One of them was Knack. The other one is Infamous Second Son. Now, I have a history with Infamous. I don't fucking like the first game. I tried playing the first game multiple times, and I tried trudging my way through it because I knew that I wanted to get the story of it. The story isn't that bad. It's fucking stupid in some spots, and I'll explain that in a minute. Story isn't that bad, but I hate the gameplay of the first Infamous. It's clunky, it's bad. It's got horrible jumping mechanics. Anybody that's played Assassin's Creed, which I'm not a fan of Assassin's Creed, but Assassin's Creed's got some pretty damn good climbing mechanics. And Infamous's idea of climbing mechanics is that you take your controller, and you push the stick towards the wall you're trying to climb up, and then you hammer that fucking X button and pray to God that Cole grabs the fucking ledge. That is not a good climbing mechanic. I'm not a fan of that. But I didn't like the first game. And I had finally eventually beaten it, and I got through to the second game, which was better. I liked Infamous 2 better because, number one, they changed Cole's voice actor. He used to be Cole McGravely voice, and then he started sounding like a normal human being for once. The second game had better combat, better shooting physics, climbing mechanics still suck ass, more monsters, more conduits. It was just overall better. I have Festival of Blood, but I haven't finished that one yet. But I was hesitant with Second Son because I knew the history I had with Infamous. And I gotta be perfectly honest about Infamous Second Son. It's so fucking good. It's so good, guys. You don't even know. Well, I mean, if you played it, you probably know. But Infamous Second Son, I had so much fucking fun with this game. It's the first Infamous I've decided to myself, I'm going to replay this. I played through any kind of Karma game, and I'm always good. And when I play back through, I'm an evil fucking monster, murder fucking my way through civilians. So, I played through this game, and I was goody little two-shoes the whole time, and I'm wondering if I play through it again, if my brother will be as proud of me then after I've, strangled civilians and thrown people off buildings and shit. So, Infamous Second Son is good, and I'll tell you why it's good. But, real quick, though, I just want to talk about the first Infamous game. Infamous 1... I don't think it's a good fucking game. I think the only reason that Infamous 1 was as moderately successful as it was because it was a PS3 exclusive. Had Infamous 1 been multiplat, it would have bombed. Why? Because Prototype is a billion times better. But Infamous 1 has issues besides just the clunky combat, the shitty jumping controls, and god-awful voice acting from I Want to Be Batman So Bad, Cole McGravely voice. I think the story of Infamous 1 is fucking stupid. If you've played Infamous 1, you know that the whole gist of the story is that Kessler, I think it's Kessler, is Cole from the future. In the future, he becomes a super powerful, godlike conduit with a bajillion different abilities. It's really cool. I think the character is cool. But he basically came back in time, and he's trying to make Cole into a powerful warrior to stop an entity known as the Beast. Now, the problem when you bring time travel into your fucking games is that it can sometimes be stupid. Because if Kessler had, instead of being a complete cunt, had just gone, "Hi, Cole, I'm you from the future. We gotta train, bitch, because some DBZ shit is coming." That would have been infinitely better. But no, he was a complete fucking cunt. And what happened? He inadvertently made the Beast. Because that black guy you were helping, I can't remember his fucking name, that black guy you were helping who got hit with that second ray sphere blast, yeah, he becomes the Beast that is in Infamous 2. Kessler accidentally did his own time paradox and made the fucking Beast. That's stupid. I don't like it. I think that the story of Infamous 1 sucks balls. The second game is infinitely better, but still not that good. I haven't replayed Infamous 2. But Infamous Second Son, you're probably wondering, Brett, what do you think about it? Why did you enjoy it so much? I'm going to tell you what. We're going to focus on gameplay. We're going to focus on, mission structure, things like that. We're going to focus on graphics. We're going to focus on the story. Alright? So, right out the gate, I want to get the story out of the way. If you have yet to play Infamous Second Son, Adam, don't watch any more of the video. or perhaps skip to a certain section. I don't know. I'll talk briefly about the story, and you can I know what I can do. How about this? I'm gonna hold my hand up, mute the video. I'm gonna talk about the story, and when you see my hand go down, I'm not talking about the story anymore. We'll do that because I'm lazy and I don't want to edit. All right? I'm about to talk about the story, guys. Mute the video. The story for Infamous Second Son is fucking great. It's called Second Son, I believe, because you play as the younger brother of two characters. And I think his name is Delson. I think that's his name. This guy's an interesting fucking character. I absolutely loved, getting his character. Also, I realized I need to stop the camera. Hands still up. I forgot. I sometimes need to stop the camera because it only records for so many minutes, and I'm about to talk about story stuff. Anywho, Delson, he's an interesting character. Him and his brother belong to a tribe. I want to say they're Native Americans, but I don't know. I don't want to sound like a fucking xenophobic idiot. But anywho, this dude's interesting. He is not your prototypical, superhero. He is a fucking punk. But through your actions in the game, which mine were all good, you can really shape him into who you want him to be. And it was really interesting seeing the dichotomy between his brother, who's a police officer, had to arrest him, had to get him out of trouble, had to deal with his bullshit his entire fucking life. Getting the dynamic between him and his brother, when he's got these new powers, was really interesting. Getting introduced to the other character in the tribe, that one that got the most screen time, getting introduced to the other conduits in the game, getting introduced to the villain in the game, that's getting a little tiresome. It was really interesting. The thing I loved about Infamous Second Son is that it's got character. The problem with Infamous 1, and lesser with Infamous 2 because there were better characters in Infamous 2, is that the fucking characters sucked. I didn't care about anybody in Infamous 1. I didn't give a fuck. But playing through Second Son, I actually cared. I wanted to get more powers to save the people of the tribe that had been hurt by the villain of the game. And holy fuck, the villain of this game is great. She is intimidating. She is heartless. To an extent until you get her backstory. She is a bad motherfucker and she's immediately threatening. Unlike Kessler, who was a cunt that didn't do jack shit for most of the game except be a cunt. And the Beast in Infamous 2 that was kind of a wet blanket when you found out he was just a black guy that got hit by the ray sphere. I think that Second Son has great fucking characters, and the story itself is really intriguing. I liked going through this environment, getting to know other conduits, getting to help or hinder, if you're a bad guy, the civilians, and it was just really great. There's a lot of fucking character in this game, and the story, it's a mission-based game. It's got its mission-based structure, so story is loosely, but with Infamous Second Son, I think probably the most pivotal moments are, of course, when you run into the villain and she does bad shit to your family members, your tribe. The moments when you run into other conduits and you can either put them on the right path or be a dark motherfucker, which I'm going to do on a second playthrough. And of course, the climactic ending when, spoiler alert, if you're listening to this and you don't want the spoiler, fucking mute me until my hand goes down. When your brother dies. I played the entire game and I enjoyed the brother. I thought that him and Delson had great chemistry. I thought that there was real camaraderie there. And when he got hit by the concrete power of the villain, yes, you can manipulate concrete, and you had to basically, you're holding on to your brother as he's about to fall into water and he's being covered in concrete. He will drown. I was like, fuck. And then and he lets go. And it was so emotional because he's like, I'm proud of you. And that's why I want to replay the game, because I want him to be like, you're a cunt, and falls into the water. But that was so good. And the climax, having the other conduits help you get to the top of the tower and beat this bitch, and then learning why she's doing the things she's doing, it's a good fucking story. And you need to play it. I'm going to put my hand down now because I'm tired. You can unmute the video now. Anywho, Infamous Second Son has a great fucking story, great fucking characters. You need to play it. As for gameplay, we'll go over that right now. Anybody hear that weird noise this thing made? I'll never be able to duplicate. There it is. That's not me farting. If you hear that, that is my legs rubbing up against the wood on this fucking stool I'm sitting on. Anywho, gameplay. Infamous Second Son has great fucking gameplay. There are issues with it though. I I think 3 issues, if I recall correctly. My biggest issue with Infamous Second Son is that the climbing mechanics still suck balls. If you want to climb up a building, you have to press your fucking face against it and hammer that X button like it's a clitoris to get up the side of the fucking building. That is not fun. That is shit. I hate it. They have alleviated this a bit when you're using your smoke power. You can go through vents and launch up the building, or if you're using neon or any other power, you can run or fly. It's got other abilities, but in the beginning, if you don't have one of these vents, you just gotta hammer that X button to get up the side of a building, and that's not fucking fun. Another problem I have with the gameplay is that they completely and utterly removed the cover mechanic. Circle no longer puts you into cover. Circle now does any sort of dodge maneuver. It allows you to smoke dash, it allows you to neon run, it allows you to video fly, which those terms don't make any sense to you if you haven't played the game and don't know the powers. But I liked being able to take cover. And don't get me wrong, the combat is fast and frenetic, and they have given you an on-screen reticule so that you can just run around and hammer R2 to shoot. But I liked being able to take cover, and certain scenarios in this with certain enemies, cover would be fucking nice. There's no cover mechanic anymore. One of the things that I liked about Infamous 1 and 2 was being able to like hang off a ledge, pop over, and like shoot lightning at people. I can't do that anymore. I have to run around or run away when I'm getting my ass kicked, and it's not fun. Granted, it is fun, but it's not fun. And the third big problem I have with it is that clicking the right stick does nothing. If I'm correct, clicking the right stick used to change which side you're aiming your powers with. It's a shoulder swap, and a shoulder swap is one of the most important fucking things in third-person shooters, which that is what this technically is. It doesn't have a gun, but it's a third-person shooter. And there's no shoulder swap. That drove me fucking crazy. There's nothing more annoying in this world than not being able to get a good beat on an enemy when you're in a position where you're not getting fucking shot to shit because you can't shoulder swap. So, all in all, the 3 issues with the gameplay is there's no cover, there's no shoulder swap, and the jumping mechanics are still shit. But what did I think about the rest of the gameplay? I thought it was fucking fantastic. The shooting is good. Like I said, you can run around and you can just lob smoke or lightning, or, well, not lightning, neon, or anything that you have at these bad guys. You can run and gun, basically, which is a good thing. The variety of powers was also good. I like that they changed around the button configuration. One thing I hated about Infamous 1 is, like, if I wanted to shoot a rocket, or a rocket-based attack, I have to hold L1 and then press triangle. That's garbage. Now, if I want to shoot a rocket, bam, it's gone. It's flying at your face and you're fucked. Just, you're dead. It's great. The control configuration, of course, this is you shooting just your shit, rockets, special abilities, and aiming. And the fine aiming has different little things it'll do. If you're using neon and you've leveled neon up, you can actually go into a slow-mo bullet time when you're fine aiming, which is nice. It's sometimes really fucking annoying, but it's nice. But yeah, the gameplay is fucking great. The combat is better because in Infamous 2 they introduced the amp, which is what Cole would use to whack enemies, and Delsin has a chain. I felt like I was playing God of War at some points because he uses that chain and whacks the shit out of bad guys, and it's fucking great. So yeah, the melee combat is improved. The shooting mechanics are improved, and Delsin has probably one of the most interesting things about his character. He has multiple powers. He is a conduit that can drain powers from other conduits, and once he has them and learns them, he just has them and he can swap freely between them. He starts off with smoke, and I didn't want it to be ruined for me, but Adam inadvertently ruined it for me. I didn't want to know what the other powers were. I just want to know, do I get more powers? Throughout the game, if you consider this a spoiler, I'll hold the hand up. Throughout the game, you will get smoke, neon, video, and at the very end when you fight the final boss, you get concrete. We done? Anywho, switching between these different powers was a lot of fun, and you can switch between them on the fly depending on if you find a source. For instance, on the tops of roofs, you can find vents billowing out smoke. You get close, you drain the smoke, you got smoke powers. You had different abilities and different ones, but everything really revolved around shooting, sending large projectiles, or having special abilities. For instance, one of my favorite things to do when I had smoke was fling the special ability, I think it's like a smoke grenade, but it was non-lethal, so all it would do was make everybody fucking cough, and I'd run in and hammer triangle and restrain every single one of them. Playing an evil character, though, I'm pretty sure it's going to kill them, and that'll be great. I can't wait to try that evil shit out. But yeah, he is a very diverse character, not just in the story, but also in his abilities, and it was a lot of fun swapping between different abilities. My favorite projectile ability is probably Video, because it fires lightning fast. I was a goody little two-shoes, so I didn't get the smoke upgrade to fire faster. It sucks, but it happens. But yeah, the gameplay in Infamous Second Son is fucking great. I loved running around and shooting. I loved being able to zip around with my powers. I loved just exploring this world. It's really good. Speaking of the world, anybody here who plays these types of games, like for instance, it's different, but like if you play Grand Theft Auto, you play Assassin's Creed, you play these big games with big open worlds, one of the things you'll know is there's collectibles, there's side quests, there's things to do that'll allow you to gain territory, you know? And I gotta be perfectly honest, in Infamous 1 and 2, I trudged through this shit because the missions were so boring, they were not fun, I fucking hated them. But holy mother of God, Infamous Second Son doesn't have a single moment of any of its side quests in which I'm not sitting there with a shit-eating grin having a good fucking time. Let me describe the side quests that are in this. You have some that are a little mundane. For instance, having a DUP soldier disguised in a crowd of people. And what you can either do is you can either find who he is and then shoot his ass and kill him instantly. Or if you get too close, he'll run away and you have to chase him, which is fucking annoying. So always find his ass, shoot him. Alright? That one's a little mundane, but it was fun. The chases were fun, and hunting down, secret agents was fun. On the other hand, you have some absolutely wonderful side quests, like just tagging. This dude, you start the game off playing as this little punk, tagging up a billboard with your brother on it, which I'll talk about something in a second, and I'll hold the hand up for spoilers. You start the game off tagging a billboard with your brother on it, and they actually put the tagging shit in the game. You get to use your fucking controller. You turn it sideways, you shake it up, and then you use it, and you spray, and you have to use the fucking whatever this is and do this shit. You spray, and you tag environments, and you can pick good tags or evil tags. It'll increase or decrease your karma. And it was a lot of fun, and there were some really cute tags that he was able to make, and I loved seeing what kind of stuff this guy would create, because I'm a pseudo artist. I draw shit. I got a fucking album on Facebook. Go check out my anime drawings. I love art. And so that part of the game really resonated with me, and I thought it was a lot of fucking fun just seeing what he could create and some of the interesting things that I could put on these billboards. It was fantastic, and I loved it, and I can't wait to go through the game again and see what kind of diabolical shit he can create, because all the good stuff was really cute. If I recall correctly, there was one where a dude was doing lifts and he had children hanging off his legs, and I thought that was cute. There was another one where it was cute, and I hate gnomes, but it was kind of morbid. There was gnomes trying to escape a guy with a push mower. That was funny as shit, but that was one of the good ones, so it's not morbid or anything. There was another one where it was a DUP agent, but he was a baby, and he was crying because he broke his APC toy. I thought these were fucking cute, and I grinned the whole fucking time. They were great. You have all these little different side missions that you can do, and what you're doing when you're doing the side missions is you're decreasing the control of the DUP in that area. And then you can do a showdown where they will come and try to attack you one last time, and if you beat them, you take over the territory. These showdown missions were super short, but I think I grinned the most at them because Delson will literally spray a billboard and then call the hotline and harass the lady on the phone. It's so fucking funny. You have no idea. It's like, hey, what are you wearing? Honey, is that you? Oh shit, it's this guy again, isn't it? That was so great. And it was like, I'm going to run out of billboards eventually. And you have to stop this. It's so great. And I loved it. There's so much character oozing out of this game. And I loved every fucking second of it. Gameplay, graphics, story, everything about Infamous Second Son is fantastic, and I feel bad for not getting to it sooner. This game is great. If you have a PS4 and you haven't played it, trust me, if you were like, I didn't like Infamous 1 and 2, play this one. I promise you, aside from the shitty fucking jumping mechanics, you're going to have fun with this. Great characters, great story, great fucking powers, great side quests. Not a single one of them was ever fucking boring. I didn't even mention like the other side quests. For instance, there's side quests where you find and shoot hidden cameras, and you have to use your cell phone to do it. And it's a cute little mini game. It's fun. It's not hard. It's fun. Everything was fun. I had fun with everything. I remember being fucking frustrated during some of the side missions in Infamous 1 and 2. I just wasn't a big fan of them. But with Infamous Second Son, I had fun the whole way through. And that's the most important aspect of a game, in my opinion. Is it fucking fun? Infamous Second Son is fun. So again, if you have a PS4 and you haven't played it, play it. Also, let me throw my hand up for spoilers. I thought it was really beautiful because at the beginning of the game, Delson's a prick. And he's tagging a billboard with his brother on it. And I did good the whole way through, so I don't know if it's different for the bad ending. But at the very end of it, he went back and he changed the tag on the billboard, and it was just really beautiful and really sweet. I thought that this game had immense character. I love these two brothers, and it was so sad that I couldn't save his brother, but I thought the ending was beautiful and poetic and great. So, yeah, I thought that was beautiful. So if you have an opportunity to play Second Son, play Second Son. And I haven't gotten a physical copy of First Light yet. I will try to, or maybe one of you beautiful bastards can send me one. But I look forward to playing First Light as well and getting to play as Fetch. I think you're going to play as Fetch. But yeah, Infamous Second Son, fantastic fucking video game. If I gave video games ratings, I'd give it a fucking 9 out of 10 because it's great. So please play Infamous Second Son. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're watching, you know, you watched the other one, you watched this one, there might be another one coming up. So do stay tuned. Take care, everyone.